Welcome to our virtual ceremony. Please join us in recognizing our 2021-2022 awardees. Today we celebrate our FSS students who have risen above the challenges despite the pandemic and have excelled academically. Today we salute you. We salute your dedication. We salute your perseverance and all your hard work. As you venture to the next chapter of your life, we would like to impart words of encouragement for your continued success. We have in store for you some words of encouragement from your invited keynote.
Dr. Rosemary Johnson holds a PhD in psychology from Howard University in Washington, D.C. since 1991. She's a licensed clinical psychologist in Florida and Jamaica. Dr. Johnson is a senior lecturer in the Department of Sociology, Psychology, and Social Work at the University of the West Indies, Mona, and serves as the coordinator of the Psychology Unit. Currently, Dr. Johnson works with several companies in Jamaica and leads seminars and workshops in emotional intelligence, communication, leadership, coping, individual counseling, and executive coaching. Some of the companies that have utilized her skills are Grace Kennedy and Company Limited and Jamaica Money Market Brokers Group, where she serves as a life coach in their executive leadership program. Other companies include Carib Star Shipping Limited, Bank of Jamaica, Petrodam Limited, Total Gas Station, and the Jamaica International Insurance Company Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our keynote speaker for the evening, Dr. Rosemary Johnson.
Hello, awardees. I am honored to be sharing this special event with you. I want to start off by congratulating you on this amazing achievement. I appreciate that in order for you to be part of this ceremony, you would have had to you'd have to consistently apply yourself. And I know that that's not always easy. And so I think that it's really important for you to really appreciate just how amazing this achievement is. I have been asked to do the keynote, and as I thought about what I was going to say, I think that just a story about a little bit about me that was not part of the bio would also be helpful and appropriate. So when I'm asked about, who are you? Tell us something about you. The thought that comes in my mind is that I am Miss Tiny's daughter. So that's the first thing. And then I am number 12 of 14 children. And, the topic that I'm going to be talking to you today about is resilience. And so I think it's important to appreciate how we get to resilience. And so in my life, in my background, I was born in 1960. And in 1960, there was a polio outbreak in Jamaica. And unfortunately, it impacted me. And luckily, though, for me, the impact, some people would say it's kind of minimal, but I guess when you're experiencing what you're experiencing, things are heavy. So the impact on me is that my left leg is shorter than my right leg, and it's smaller than my right leg. And so I walk with a limp. Now, having said that, it's something that I have had to work through. But at the time when I was working through it, I wasn't aware that it was building this mental muscle about how does one adjust to something that you cannot change. So I couldn't wave a magic wand and heal my leg. So I had to do some mental work in order to be able to go on with the rest of my life. And so I see that as one of the start for me about this mental agility, mental strength. Now, as I continue to develop, another huge thing that I had to grapple with was I failed common entrance. And many of you who are listening to me might not know what common entrance is, but anyway, it's that exam that makes you move from prep or primary school into high school. And I failed it, and I was devastated. And of course, all of the doubt, all of the, oh gosh, I'm not good enough, popped up. Luckily for me, my older sister, really bright, really loved by the principal at Ferncourt High School, she asked the principal if he would take me without common entrance. And because he so liked her, he said yes. Now, I remember making a decision at 11 that I was going to show them that I was bright. And so what I did was I just applied myself. I worked hard. And for the 5 years that I was in high school, I was at the top of my class. Now, fast forward, I'm finished with high school. My family migrated to New York. My mother, bless her heart, thought that I should go to typing school, and that's okay. One of the things, though, that was pivotal at 17 was that somebody at Ferncourt High School thought that a 17-year-old girl would benefit from this book, The Magic of Thinking Big. And I was so excited about the book because it had my name in it, and it said the award for human and social biology. Now, I started reading this book, and the thing that stuck with me once I got to the end was, all you have to do is think it, and that's it. And I remember thinking, then I want a PhD. I had no idea what a PhD was, but if the author was saying such wonderful things and he had a PhD, I wanted one. And after stating that out loud, I started noticing opportunities. I started noticing scholarships. And so I got a scholarship to Binghamton University, which is upstate New York. It's a predominantly white school. I was experiencing racism overt for the first time in my life. And so in this predominantly white university, the messaging was, you're Black, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough. Now, luckily for me, there was one Black professor on the faculty, and I made it my job to know him. And as I went from being a freshman to a sophomore to a junior, it started forming in my mind that I wanted to do psychology, and not just, and in the specific area, I wanted to do clinical. But clinical is the most competitive subspecialty in psychology. And so, of course, the doubts came up. And I remember going to Dr. Emery and saying, Dr. Emery, do you think I can be a psychologist? And without hesitation, Dr. Emery said to me, absolutely. And I remember then thinking, well, if Dr. Emery thinks I can do it, then of course I can. And so those are some things that in my mind, along my journey up to that point, required a certain degree of focus, a certain degree of overcoming fear and overcoming doubt, and making use of the people who were available to me, who would continue to encourage and prop me up until I knew how to do it for myself. And so I just wanted to just share that with you before I started my talk. And so what am I going to talk to you about? I'm going to talk to you about resilience. And the subtitle is Adversity and Character Building. Now, as I have already said, and as I have already recognized for you, is that the fact that you're here means you are already resilient. The fact that you're already here says to me, you have some strategies for overcoming adversity. And when we overcome adversity, we can't help but build character, okay? And so I am going to start my discussion with you about this is a strategy, and it's a strategy for anything and everything that you would want to do. Always begin with the end in mind. And the reason for that is that our mind constantly needs instruction. And if you don't tell it what to do from the beginning, distractions are going to come in. And so you have no idea what I'm going to talk about yet. But I want you to take a pen and paper, and I want you to answer these questions. And there is the same question, but with different degrees of specificity. When you're finished listening, so when this is finished, what is it that you would want to gain, given the topic that I'm going to be talking about? Make it something very specific that you want either for yourself or for others. Now, if this session proves to be exceptionally helpful to you, what would you really like to be different for you? So take a few moments to think about that and to write it down, because that's important. If you practice this, one of the things you're going to begin to notice about your life is everything you want seems to happen. It is not by chance. It is by knowing how to use the mind. And so, what is resilience? And I used this dictionary definition. It is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Notice that it's not suggesting that anything is easy. It's saying that when life's challenges come your way, you have ways to overcome so that you're not stuck for a long time in pain or suffering. Now, if you notice the picture that I've included, it's a tree that seems to be growing out of stone. Normally, a tree would need earth to grow, but somehow this tree has found a way to grow in rocks. And so the question, as you continue on your journey of achievement, I suspect that you're going to need to find ways sometimes to grow, even when the soil is not optimal, even when the soil is rocks. Okay? And so now, as I think about that, what then becomes clear to me is that resilience is a superpower. Resilience is your superpower. And so one of the ways to continue to reinforce that inside of yourself are just some things you could repeat. And so here's some key statements. You know, when things get difficult and you're feeling discouraged, I keep going, even when it's hard. I get better with practice. This is really important when you're learning something for the first time. I believe I can do hard things. For achievers like you, I suspect that the dreams and the vision that you have for your life require lots of stretching. And so that space in between your dream and the accomplishment of it, it's going to be important to remind yourself, I believe I can do hard things. I keep calm when I make a mistake. The only way to learn and the only way to grow is you're not going to get it right all the time. And when you don't get it right, it's going to be really important that you stay calm and just understand this is just part of the process. I keep trying until I get it. Again, practice makes perfect. If you fail the first time, try again. Other key statements to remind yourself about your future, your superpower. Challenges make you stronger. And the final thing I want to say about just reminding yourself about your superpower, ask for help when you need it. And there are lots of people out there who are willing to assist you in that regard. And so the meat of what I want to talk about is about the mind, because I think that once that is understood, once the greatness of this resource called mind is appreciated, then you'll be able to scale every hurdle. And so I want you to remember this. It all begins and ends in your mind, everything. So here is a way that I find helpful to look at the mind. So I think about the mind as a biocomputer. And this biocomputer processes information from the external world. It goes inside of you, and then you create whatever it is that you need to create. And so I want to just go through this diagram briefly to kind of explain what the process is. So events happen. So you miss a deadline. You failed at something. There's a breakup. What happens? That information goes in to the mind. And how does it get there? It goes in through our five senses: seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, feeling. Now, research tells us that all of the possible combinations of these five senses result in 2 million different pieces of information. But if we were aware of this 2 million bits all the time, all of us would go start raving mad. So what happens? All of us have filters through which we make sense of the world. One filter is that we delete. So we are deleting most of the stuff. Another filter that we do is that we distort. And then the last thing that we do is that we generalize. So in any given moment, as information is coming into your mind, you're deleting, you're distorting, and you're generalizing. And what those filters do is that they then reduce all of this information into big, broad categories, 7 plus or minus 2. These categories then now create the meaning that we give to the things that happen to us. So if you miss a deadline, you're deleting, distorting, generalizing a whole lot of different things. What does that then mean to you? The meaning that we give to things then create emotions. How are you going to feel if I miss a deadline? Do I feel like, oh gosh, I'm sad, I am anxious? That depends on the meaning that we've given it. You know, if it is that, I'm going to get in trouble, then the emotion might be a painful emotion. Okay, and then our emotions affect our physiology. And then there is this looping that occurs. So it goes from meaning to emotion to physiology, which is what our bodies do, and it keeps going. And then eventually we end up with behavior. So the behavior is after we have created meaning and gotten the emotion, and our bodies are making us, are syncing with the emotion, there's a behavior. So I might say I'm a failure and stop trying. A word I hide away. Okay, so this is a simplification of what I want you to think about as you go through life, because this is happening at all times. The interesting thing as well is that we each are doing this in our own individual ways. And so each person's experience of life is going to be different. So just kind of remember that. So having gone through all of that, what should we keep in mind? I think it's important to remember, achievers, that life is happening for you and not to you. So everything that is happening in your life right now, good or bad, can be used, okay? Because life is happening for you. So now, going back to resilience, how does one get resilient? Now, in my mind, one of the great ironies of life is that you can't be resilient without experiencing failure. And failure is the worst thing that could happen to an achiever because their standards are so high. But what I want you to know, achievers, is this. In order for you to get to your next level, it's likely that you're going to experience some failure because you're not there yet. So remember that. So it's about, how can I reframe failure? And so I just wanted to share with you 5 reasons why failure is important. We have already alluded to this, in that failure is going to make you strong. It's going to make you resilient. Failure helps you learn what doesn't work. It builds character. It helps you develop problem-solving skills. It's also a stepping stone to success. No successful person has gotten there without experiencing failure. It's a stepping stone to success. So here is an acronym that I found that I thought I'd share with you because I think it's cute. So FAIL, first attempt in learning. So remember that. It's not a big deal. That's what's supposed to happen as you continue to achieve. Now, just a reminder about what it takes to succeed. You've all succeeded already, but I just wanted to, and you're probably doing many of these things that I'm going to share. This is just a reminder. So what is the ultimate success formula? The first thing is that you got to know your outcome. Where is it that I'm trying to go? What is my destination? Know your outcome. Get yourself to take action by deciding to do so. Once you know your outcome, you can't wait until you feel like it in order to start. So you need to get yourself to take action, decide to do it, and do it. You also need to notice what you're getting from your actions. Notice whether your actions are getting you results or not. If your actions are not getting you results, then you need to change your approach. So it doesn't make sense doing the same thing over and over if it's not working. Now, there's a way to speed up success. And one way is to utilize the experience of somebody who has already gone through it. So you save time in getting to your destination if you can find someone who is already getting the results that you want. Find out what they're doing, because success leaves clues. Everything that we do is a strategy. It's a mental strategy. And if you repeat the mental strategy, you're going to get the same result. Okay? So you find out what they're doing and do the same thing, and you get the same result. So remember, it's impossible to fail as long as you learn something from what you did. You can then take these learnings to change the result, which in turn gets you closer to what it is that you want. So what's the mindset to have in terms of life and how to continue to move forward and to achieve? The quality of your life is found in the meaning you give to experiences. If you have empowering meanings, then your life is going to continue to evolve and to grow. If the meanings that you're giving to your experiences are of defeat and failure, then that's also what you're going to continue to experience. So remember, you control the meaning, so you can make the experiences what you want them to be. Emotions are the fuel of your life. They're going to get you to act. Notice that when you're feeling down, you don't have the energy to do stuff. So if you have big dreams and big goals, make sure that the emotions that you practice, the emotions that you create, are emotions that are going to get you to your big dream. Emotions like excitement and joy and anticipation. Those are going to fuel you and propel you to get to your destination. Anxiety and fear, though, are going to stall you. Understand that life is constant change. Don't expect anything to stay the same. Okay? So, in other words, to me, nature provides us with amazing clues about how to live and how to get meaning from life. So life is an experience of seasons. And although in Jamaica we have primarily summer, it's important for you to, those countries that have 4, spring, summer, autumn, winter, notice what happens in the different seasons. So in winter, things die off. But guess what? And it gets cold and things get harder. But when you prepare for winter, winter can be fun. It's the same thing as you think about your life. Life is also a paradox. What is right is wrong, and what is wrong is right. Know that love and joy and happiness, those things are available to you right now in this moment as you're listening to me. If you are not experiencing it, it is about where you're putting your focus. Also know that love and joy and happiness, it's always available. And so if you can cultivate these emotions, these are premium fuel that's going to get you to go even further than where you are right now. Life is about constant growth. Okay? So in summary, here's what I want you to know. Everything you need to continue on your journey of achievement is already inside of you. You have also utilized it to come this far. This is the reason you're part of this award ceremony. To continue on your path, you must continue to visualize where you want to go. So once you've achieved a goal, when you're 80% there, you need to be setting another goal. Because remember, life is about constant growth. So in order for you to stay motivated and to stay energized about life, The mind is always looking for something to do. And if you don't give it something to do, guess what? It's going to go find what's wrong or what could go wrong. And we know where that leads. Congratulations again on your success and all the best for your future. And so I want you to take chances. I want you to make mistakes. I want you to know that life doesn't have to be orderly. It can get messy. And out of the mess, you can create a masterpiece. Now, I want you to do something for yourself. And so I'm going to end my talk with giving you an assignment. And what is the assignment? I want you to write down one decision you've been putting off. That when you make it now, you will change your life. Okay? Now that you've made a real decision, you must take action immediately. So to do this, just write down the first step. What are 3 simple things you could do immediately, right now, that would be consistent with your decision? And it could be as easy as just picking up the phone and calling. Or it could be, all right, let me complete this application. Again, awardees, I am extremely proud of you. I want to encourage you to continue to strive because the sky is the limit and you have amazing things to give to the world. Bye now and all the best in your future life endeavors.
We will now announce the 2021-2022 Faculty of Social Sciences awardees for Honor Society Level 1.
Andrew Blake, Whitney Box, Palame Brown, Nathan Chambers, Abigail Davis, Sashona Davis, Malika Edwards, Dejanay English, Ariel Ford, O'Neill Gale, Joshua Grant, Janelle Gregory, Daryl Hendricks, Brianna Henry, Javon Hunter, Anisha Ingram, Naisha Johnson, Giselle Julal, Kenesia Carr, Ria Simone Lawrence, Leah Lewin, Deja McDaniel, Jada McDaniel, Courtney McGregor, Dominique Miller, Ezrin Morris, Patricia Morrison, Kelsia Nation, Rashana Nelson, Celeste Nottingham, Kimani Nugent, Jada Pitter, Joel Plummer, Dominique Samuels, Raquel Santana, Asher Smith, Kyle Spooner, Tamika Townsend, Shamar Turner, Alicia Turnquest, Nathan Walker, Tonian Wallace, Whitney Waysome, Shari Webb, Collian Williams, Lascelles Williams, Danae Winter.
We will now announce the 2021-2022 Faculty of Social Sciences awardees for Honor Society Level 2.
Gabriel Archer, Ashley Azan, Cezanne Chin, Michaela De La Mota, Alexia Grizzly, Shamar Johnson, Abigail Monroe, Chantal Morgan, Oresia Smythe, Nakira Stevenson, Malik Thomas, Serena Williams.
We will now announce the 2021-2022 Faculty of Social Sciences awardees for First Class Honors.
Cassandra Ali, Odine Anderson, Ashane Aris, Matthew Baker, Robert Baker, Monique Barrett, Alea Bartley, Renee Bartley, Ricardo Barton, Kayla Bent, Brandon Blake, Tanisha Bogle, Jody K. Braham, Jada Brown, Kamala Brown, Nashay Brown, Catherine Bryan Rattray, Crystal Buckner, Shakika Boudou, Huron Bury, Robert Burns, Abigail Burt, Janae Bainu, Rashane Calvert, Kimisha Campbell, Tashara Campbell Malcolm, Troy Cardwell, Matthew Chance, Amoya Clark, Brittany Clark, Patrice Clayton, Monet Craigwell, Miles Cunningham, Janelle Dawkins, Amara Dickinson, Shaniel Douglas, Kristen Duhaney, Brianna Edwards, Ashley Ellis, Brittany Ennis, Janelle Ferron, Shanique Fisher, Hallie Fletcher, Alexanne Forsyth, Daniela Good, Zetrine Graham, Chanel Gray, Brittany Hall, Jade Hanson, Nikira Harvey, Reveille Henry, Regine Hibbert, Chasty Hibbert, Abigail Hines, Aaron Hoylett, Jada Howard, Abigail Hyman, Glendon Johnson, Neshae Johnson, Tashay Johnson, Niamichi Jones, Jayan Josephs, Kisanyo Leng, Tanisha Lewis, Shaniel Limonius, Sharifa McCullough, Kimani McCarty, Andrew McDaniel, Dayoni McFarlane, Brianna McGregor, Makita McLegon, Sydney McNee, Ashley Mercurius, Carlton Miller, Jada Miller, Anika Mills, Beyonce Mullings, Marika Nemhard, Naomi Ortiz, Rochelle Patrick, Michael Fang, Gitana Pinnock, Carol Dean Ramdat, Shiwala Richards, Ricardo Ricketts, David Salmon, Livia Sanderson, Janelle Sanderson, Shanique Scarlett, Shelly-Ann Scott, Kelsey Siao, Kendra Simpson, Latonya Smith, Shalise Smith, Shivani Spence, Chantel Spencer, Denise Squire, Natalia Stennett, Shikia Stevens, Najani Stewart, Neville Stewart, Kayan Stone, Danette Taylor, Kadian Taylor, Abigail Thomas, Dalkeith Thomas, Rory Thomas, Simone Thomas, Nordia Thompson, Disha Trail, Tamara Turner, Akeem Waite, Kenisha Walker, Anna K. Walters, Nicole Wilkes, Keynote Williams, Leandra Wilson, Adrielle Yankee, Aisha Priestley.
We will now announce the 2021-2022 Faculty of Social Sciences awardees for distinction. Cherise Bailey, Burkan Bowen, Emoy Young, Charlie Amori, Travis Barrett, Jamonte East, Trudy Ray Goodison, Chevelle Grant, Erica Harris, Herbert Mackenzie, Giselle Barnett, Janelle Ray Bowie, Candia Brim, Cherry Codna, O'Shane Crary, Alicia Cross, Tony-Ann Davidson, Stephana Douglas, Winston Ebanks, Shona Graham, Sandrine Hayden, Emile Holgate, Anna K. Jones, George Kerr, Dania K. Kildare, Kerry Lawrence, Esther Louison, Kamara Malcolm, John Martin, Natalia McGee, Kamaria Morrison, Joellen Monroe, O'Dane Murray, Ricardo Nemhard, Chantel Peart, Anika Peters, Shamar Robinson, Anna Joy Tibby, Dave Vassell, Everton Walters, Chanel Walton, Daniela Watson, Chevelle Wellington, Rochelle Williams, Ramar Williams, Rachelle Wright, Voraldo Barnett, Nomar Bembridge, Morgan Phillips, Stephen Richards, Tiffany Robinson, Minka Amen-Ra, Damian Anglin, Chantal Artwell, Anna-Kay Bromfield, Nikisha Burke, Errol Chevans, Mitchell Cole, Shanique Dalion, Felicia Doman, Camille Drakes, Philip Earl, Rashima Gonzalez Bennett, Paula Henry Hall, Nicola Pantru, Jodianne Prendergast, Rochelle Reed, Nicola Walker. We'll now announce the 2021-2022 Faculty of Social Sciences awardees for Special Awards Undergraduate.
Nathan Walker, Lorianne McCoy, Sebastian Lawrence, Troy Cardwell, Sebastian Lawrence, Alexandre Forsyth, Disha Shreya, Monique Barrett, Ezrin Morris, Romeo Grant, Carlton Miller, Patrice Clayton, Abigail Hines, Shikiko Boudou, Jade Hansen, Daniela Good, Sharla Richards, Regine Hibbert, Regine Hibbert. Regine Hibbert. Jada Howard. Gitana Pinnock. Brittle Young. William Brown. Aaron French. Brittany Clark. Brittany Clark. Justin Allen. Bianca Brown. David Summer. David Summer. Roshane Calvert. Akeem Wade.
We will now announce the 2021-2022 Faculty of Social Sciences awardees for Special Awards Graduate.
Brooke Ann Bowen. Emoy Young. Brooke Ann Bowen. Jocelyn Itza. Trudy Ray Goodison. Jamonte East. Travis Burrett. Cherry Codner. Alicia Cross. Stefina Douglas. Sandrine Hayden. Emil Holgate. Anna-Kate Jones. George Kern. Kerry Lawrence. Kamara Malcolm. Natalia McGill. Kamaria Morrison. Odane Murray. Ricardo Nemhard. Anika Peters. Nicole Ebanks. Justin Morris. Sonia Dennis. Stephanie Reese. Sadia Peters. Roxanne Brown. Corinne Henry. Kenton Spencer. Alicia Williams. Chantel Brady. Jermaine Robinson. Chelsea Thomas Benoit. Amanda Hamilton Roberts. Shoshana McKenzie. Deidreanne Burrell. Shade Jameson. Colin Parchment. Charles Stewart. Sheila Waite. Anne Amiel. Nikisha Burke. Latoya Chambers. Mitchell Cole. Philip Earl, Chantal Hardy, Shanae Jenkins, Abigail Sobarni, Tiffany Turnbull, Anake Bromfield, Teak Richards, Anake Bromfield, Teak Richards, Shanique Delion, Latoya Chambers, Felicia Doman, Philip Earl, Susanna Fairweather, Rashima Gonzalez Bennett, Chantal Hardy, Shanae Jenkins, Abigail Sobarni, Anne Aniel, Yannick Ross, Katie Ann Edwards, Tamika Scott Walters.
We will now announce the 2021-2022 Faculty of Social Sciences awardees for Cross Campus Awards.
Nathan Walker, Alex Ann Forsyth,